All right. Hello. Welcome to the CU Denver Business School. This is our Business Analytics and Artificial Intelligence Masters of Science program orientation video. My name is Andrew Jacobson. Basically, we're just going to kind of give you, with this video, an overview of the Business Analytics and AI program. We'll take a look at the degree plan. We'll talk about the course schedule. And we'll also take a look at the enrollment page, how to register for classes or what to look for when you're going in to register for classes for your program. So hopefully you'll find this video useful as you're kind of getting started here in the Business Analytics and AI program. My name's Andrew Jacobson. I'm one of three graduate advisors that we have here in the business school. One of the questions I always get from new students is, am I assigned an advisor? Do I have to meet with an advisor every semester? The answer to really both of those is no. You're not assigned an advisor here in the business school, so you can meet with any of us, all of us. It's really completely up to you. And you're actually never required for advising either. So when you want to meet with an advisor, if you want to meet with an advisor, that really is entirely up to you. But we're here to help if any questions, concerns, anything comes up as you're kind of going through your graduate program. So feel free to connect with us if you do have any questions or concerns or anything. So cool. So let's go through here. Where I'm going to start is with the welcome email. So this should have been an email that you received when you were accepted into your program. It's what we call kind of our welcome email. It's titled Welcome to the Business School. So hopefully this looks familiar to you. If you did not get this email or did not see this email, then reach out to us. You can email us at our grad.advising@ucdenver.edu email. Let us know, hey, I didn't get my welcome email. We'll be more than happy to resend that to you. But hopefully you got this. Hopefully you saw this. As it notes here in the email, we do recommend that if you're a student to archive or save this email in your inbox. So just in case in the future, if you want to go back to it for any reason, look at maybe some of the links that we have here again or whatever, highly encourage you to archive or save this email so that you do have easy access to it if you need to in the future. One of the first parts of this email is we do have a business analytics and AI Canvas site that basically is run by the faculty within our business analytics program. So highly encourage you to add yourself to that Canvas site so that you can get program updates, information about the program or different things kind of going on. So that's one of the first links here on this welcome email is to kind of add yourself to the MS Business Analytics Canvas site. And then basically this email is like a checklist of just kind of items to review. So we're going to kind of go through this. And as we go through this email, we'll also go over the degree plan, the course schedule, and all those types of things. So the first part of this welcome email is about setting up your student account, gives you a link to there to claim your student account. Sometimes students have issues trying to set up their account or getting access to their email. So we did also provide the CU Denver Office of Information Technology link there. They have a help desk. So if you do have any issues trying to get your student account set up, need any assistance with that, please make sure you contact our OIT office. They'll be more than happy to help you out. And there's also the second bullet here notes that email is kind of the official way that we kind of communicate with our students here at CU Denver. So we do really highly encourage you to regularly check your at ucdenver.edu campus email on a regular basis, just so that you're getting updates of program stuff, registration stuff, all that stuff as you're kind of going through your program. So make sure you're checking your campus email regularly as you're kind of making your way through your graduate program. So number two here on the welcome email is the Business Analytics and AI degree plan. So if you click on that, that should bring up the degree plan here. It's a 30 credit hour, 10 course program. 7 core classes to the business analytics or business analytics core, 7 classes. that every MS Business Analytics student will have to complete as you go through your program. And then the bottom there, 3 electives. So it's kind of 2 sections, the core and then the electives. Every student has to do those 7 core courses, and every student has to take 3 business analytics elective courses. So, so kind of going through some of the important notes here on this degree plan. One of the obvious questions that students have in terms of their first semester is, where should I start? Where do I start with the program? The first 2 classes listed here on the degree plan, BANA 6610 Statistics for Business Analytics and BANA 6620 Computing and AI for Business Analytics, those are really the first 2 classes that we really do encourage students to take in your first semester. So both of those courses are offered in the fall and spring. Typically, BANA 6620 is a first 8 weeks course. BANA 6610 is a second 8 weeks course, typically in the fall and spring. So a typical new business analytics student would usually start with BANA 6620 in the first 8 weeks of their first semester, and then BANA 6610 in the second 8 weeks of their first semester. That really is kind of what we really kind of encourage students to kind of start with, or where to start with when it comes to your program. The other core classes, the other 5 core classes, can really be completed in any order. So once you do BANA 6610 and 6620, the other core classes really just need to be completed before you graduate. And those can be completed. There really isn't a specific order when it comes to taking those other core classes for the program. And in fact, we're going to look at the class schedule here in just a minute. And a lot of the other core classes are only offered in certain semesters. So one of the things as a new student, you want to obviously look at this degree plan. You obviously also want to look at the course schedule that we're going to look at here in just a few minutes to kind of see when particularly some of those core classes are going to be offered. Because like I said, some of those other core classes are typically only offered once a year. So you kind of want to make sure you're aware of when those courses are going to be offered, so you can kind of plan accordingly to getting some of those core classes done. So the first 2, BANA 6610, BANA 6620, those are kind of the 2 critical ones that get done early in your program, your first semester. The other core classes, like I said, just need to be completed by the time you graduate. And then your electives, you can really take the electives at any time, kind of after your first semester, after you do the 6610 and the 6620 classes. Typically, usually recommend to kind of focus on getting some of the core classes done early in your program, saving some of those electives for later. But certainly if there's some electives that you have interest in and they're only offered certain times or whatever, and you want to take those, you're certainly more than welcome to do that. So some people think, oh, I have to finish all the core before I can do the electives. That's really not the case. You really want to finish 6610 and 6620 first. But then once you do that, when you take those other core classes or when you start taking some of the electives is really up to you. And the electives can be any of our BANA courses that are number 6,000 or higher that are not part of the core. Can be elective courses, and we'll take a look at what some of those might look like. We also have 2 classes, ISMG 6080, which is Database Management Systems, and ISMG 6470, Text Data Analytics. Both of those 2 classes are part of our Information Systems program here at CU Denver. Those classes can count as electives towards your MS Business Analytics and AI program. So if you did have interest in taking ISMG 6080 or ISMG 6470, you certainly could do that and count those as electives as well. The other information systems courses we offer, unfortunately, don't apply toward the business analytics program, but those 2 do. So you could, if you, like I said, want to take those, you certainly can do that. So it's a pretty easy degree plan in terms of requirements for the program. Again, it's the 7 core, the 3 electives, 10 courses total to complete the MS Business Analytics program. So important to check out that link here on that welcome email. The third part of the welcome email here is how to register for classes, and then that link to the tentative schedule. So you can see the tentative course schedule here. Click on that, and that should bring you to a page that looks like this. So the top part of this course schedule are those 7 core classes. So the 6610, the 6620, which, like I said, those are offered in the fall and spring. But then the other core courses you can see here are typically only offered once a year. So decision analysis, the 6640, the 6670, the prescriptive analytics with optimization, and the AI deep learning and business analytics course, the 6810. You can see that those are spring courses this upcoming year. And then BANA 6660 and BANA 6710, again, other core classes, those are going to be courses that are offered in the fall of this upcoming year. And this course schedule, we typically update every year in the spring. So usually right around the beginning of April, we usually have the updated schedule for the next academic year. So you can always, like I said, keep this email so you can click on that link in the future if you need to come back to this and get a new schedule for the next academic year. So so that's where you kind of want to, like I said, save and make sure you have access to this email in the future. Then the second part here, these are all the elective options that we offer here within the business analytics program. So there's a whole bunch of them, as you can kind of see, and you can kind of see when some of those are going to be offered: fall, spring, summer. So not only do you want to kind of know when the electives are going to be offered, but look at this course schedule, or when the core courses are going to be offered. But I also recommend to look at this schedule to see when some of the electives are going to be offered. So you can kind of see, particularly if there's going to be electives that you really want to take, you can really kind of see when those are going to be available, and they can kind of plan accordingly when it comes to taking those classes. So as you probably know, here in the business school, we offer 8-week courses for our graduate program. So basically fall and spring semester, we divide the semester in half, and we have courses we offer during the first 8 weeks of the semester, and then other courses we offer during the second 8 weeks of the semester. So when you're looking at this schedule, 8A, obviously, eight means it's an 8-week course. A means it's a first 8 weeks course. 8B means it's a second 8 weeks course. And there's a legend on page 2, so that kind of explains that. But just keep in mind when you're looking at this schedule, if it's 8A, that means it's a first 8 weeks course. If it's 8B, it's a second 8-week course. And you can also see the modalities for some of the courses here. So if a course is online or if it's going to be hybrid. The business analytics program here at CU Denver does require that you have to do in-person courses. So it's not a program that can be completed fully online. So so you'll be taking a lot of the courses, particularly the core classes. A lot of those end up being campus courses or maybe a Zoom option for some of those. So so keep that in mind, that this is not a program that can be completed fully online. In fact, most of the BANA courses, most of the business analytics courses do require that you have to do some in-person campus or course meetings. So so keep that in mind. So, but this is the course schedule. So degree plan, course schedule, those are 2 items that from that welcome email that you definitely want to check out, take a look at as you're kind of getting started with your program. If we go back to the welcome email, the fourth part of that is basically just some information for you as a student. So there's some information regarding financial aid, students who are veteran or military affiliated students. There's also links to the academic and billing calendar here. The academic calendar is kind of all the important kind of add, drop, registration dates. And you can see here, there's a fall main session tab. Because we do 8 weeks courses here in the business school, you want to make sure that you're clicking on the right tab, either first 8 week or second 8 week, depending upon what term you're looking at or what part of the semester you're looking at for courses. But always want to be kind of mindful of the academic calendar with all the important dates through the semester, and then also the billing calendars, which you can see the links for here. Which are all the dates for payments and things like that for tuition and everything. So important information to review kind of every semester, the academic and billing calendars. And then we have a new student checklist here as well. If you click on that, that will bring up just some good information for you as you're kind of getting started. So again, the first part there is setting up your student account. Again, information about the academic and billing calendar. Also information about financial aid, scholarships, things like that there as well. And then the bottom part of the checklist, we have information about how to get your student ID, the immunization requirement here on campus, Canvas, which is the learning management system we use for our courses. So anytime you sign up for a course, you'll have a course Canvas page that will be part of your account, which you can go in, and that's where instructors will post some course information, maybe even put some lectures in there or readings or different things. So instructors will use Canvas to post a lot of critical information for you as a student. And then there's also information about textbooks, where to get textbooks or how to get textbooks for your classes as well. So check out that new student checklist as well as part of that welcome email there toward the bottom. And then there's just some of our general information. So that grad.advising@ucdenver.edu email. So if you ever have questions or anything like that, you can reach us via email there. And then also a link to schedule an appointment with an advisor. You can go into the graduate advising page and then see our information. There's a little make an appointment link that you can click on there if you want to schedule an appointment with an advisor. So a lot of different ways to reach out to us if you do have questions, concerns as you're kind of going through your program. But yeah, this welcome email is critical. So make sure you're looking at that degree plan, checking that out, also checking out the course schedule and everything so that you kind of have all that information to get started. And then if we go in here, this is just going to kind of briefly show you how to search for classes in the class search to go in and register. So I'm just going to go in, select fall 2026. And you're basically going to get a bar at the top that's going to ask for you to put in a keyword here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to put BANA for BANA, which is the prefix for our business analytics courses. And this will show all the business analytics courses that we offer in the business school, including undergrad courses. So we don't want to obviously see the undergrad courses. We just want to see the graduate. So on the left side here, under course career, you can actually select graduate. That will remove all the undergraduate courses so that you'll only see the graduate sections of our BANA courses. So just to make sure you don't register for an undergrad course accidentally. And we're just going to take a look at BANA 6620 Computing for AI for Business Analytics. Click on that. So a few things to kind of pay attention to here. One is you can click on the course information tab at the top, which will give you kind of an overview or course description of the class that you're looking at and give you some information there. But when you're registering for classes, particularly if there's going to be two sections of a course, you do want to be mindful of what section you're enrolling in. So first thing is it a first 8 weeks or a second 8 weeks course? Here we have two sections in the first 8 weeks. Both meet Wednesday, 6:30 to 9:15 in the evening. So here in the business school, we predominantly do evening classes. So a lot of our students work during the day. They'll come to campus for classes in the evening. And there's two options. There's one to attend the course in person here in the business school. So business school room 1200 is where this course is going to meet this upcoming fall. And then there's an option here for Zoom, which basically means you're not going to come to campus for the course, but you're still going to be part of that Wednesday evening class, but you'll attend the course via Zoom rather than actually coming to campus. So we do offer some Zoom sections for some of our business analytics courses, just to make it a little easier for students that maybe coming to campus after work or something like that might be a little bit challenging. Make it a little bit maybe easier for you if maybe you can just do the course or participate in the course via Zoom from home or whatever. So, so please make sure when you're registering, you're paying attention to see, is this a first 8 weeks course? Is it a second 8 weeks course? And then what kind of format is the course? Is it in person? Is it Zoom? Is it online? There might be some online options, particularly for some of the elective courses. So make sure you're paying attention to some of those details when you're registering. So like I said, here in the business school, we offer 8 week courses, first 8 week, second 8 week in the fall and spring. Summer is just an 8 week term. So we don't do first 8 week, second 8 week in summer. It's just one 8 week session. For most students in our business analytics and AI program, Most of them work full time. And typically, if you're a student who's working full time, we do recommend that you basically do one 8-week class at a time. So basically, you do one class in the first 8 weeks of fall, and then one class in the second 8 weeks of fall, and then same thing in spring. One class in the first 8 weeks of spring, one class in the second 8 weeks of spring. The reason for that is the courses are pretty intensive for the program. There's a lot of material you're getting through in 8 weeks, basically 2 months. Um, and so we tell students that you can anticipate potentially upwards of 20 hours of coursework a week for each class that you're registered for. So if you're in a first 8 weeks course, you're taking one class, potentially 20 hours of coursework a week that you're going to have to do for your class. So if you're registered in two classes in an 8-week session, then you're talking about potentially 40 hours of coursework a week for those classes. And that's where, if you're working full time, that could be just too heavy of a workload. So most of our students who work full time just do one 8-week class at a time as they go through their program. Now, we do have some students who are not working or working limited hours, or some of our international student population who are not working. Those students, potentially, you could do more. You could maybe do 3 classes in a semester, maybe do one in the first 8 weeks, then maybe try and do two 8-week classes in the second 8 weeks. So that would really mostly be for, like I said, student population who are not working or working very kind of limited hours or something like that, and have the capability and time to spend a lot of time on coursework and everything for their classes. So again, if you're working full time, really recommend just kind of doing one 8-week class at a time. If you're not working full time, probably would still recommend just do one 8-week class your first 8-week session of your program. So the first 8 weeks that you're doing a course, I would just probably still recommend just do one, just to kind of see how things go and how that works for you. And then again, then in future 8-week sessions, if you want to do more than that, want to try and take a second class in a second 8-week session or something like that, you could do that. That's up to you. So how many courses you register for each semester, each 8-week session is really entirely up to you. But like I said, if you're working full time, just be mindful of the workload and everything. And that's where we kind of strongly recommend those students working full time just do one 8-week class at a time. So that's what to look for when you're in the enrollment system, looking for classes and everything. Um, so yeah, so that was just kind of a quick orientation video just to kind of give you some ideas and some information as you're kind of getting started with the program. So again, hopefully you got this welcome email and everything. Look at the degree plan, look at the course schedule, look at the classes online when you're registering and everything. And certainly if at any point you're going through the program, if you have any questions, concerns, anything comes up, feel free to reach out and let us know. But otherwise, welcome to the business school, and we look forward to having you get started here soon.